If we don't get this sorted today, the HVB roof rack may very well just fall off the next time I load it up. So we're heading out on a road trip to go meet Billy and the team. So here we are at the Veterans in Action, the Post-Traumatic Growth Charity, and we're at the Alive Centre. Hopefully getting our new roof rack fitted and taking this rather tired old one off. But first, I want to find a little bit more about what goes on here.
Oh, mate.
Nice
good to see you, pal.
Thank you
good to see you, mate. I'll just show you how.
With the main man, Billy, who's going to hopefully tell me a little bit more about exactly what it is you do here.
We used to do long distance walking expeditions, but when we started building vehicles, for me it was all about the expedition before. So everything was about getting guys out and being in the field and spending a lot of time together. But when we started to build vehicles in the workshop, we realised the time spent in the workshop was the time, if you want to call it therapy, that's where the real therapy was done.
Yeah.
And it was all about longevity, about people working together over a long period of time, building relationships, starting to build confidence and feeling safe in an environment that understood them and they understood the environment they were in. Is it really about vehicles, or is it building the people that build the vehicles? That's what it's really about. So I wanted to do stuff in outdoors, so I decided I wanted to drive to South Africa and back with Land Rovers. And I took that to one of the big charities and they messed me about for about 6 months and then said they weren't going to help me. So I had no money to drive to South Africa and back, which is what I wanted to do. So I decided I was going to walk from John O'Groats to Land's End. And I took 12 guys with PTSD with me on that walk. And it was on that walk I seen veterans starting to change. I could see the conversations were growing. They were starting to share experiences. They were starting to share what worked, what didn't work for them. And the 12 guys that finished that walk at Land's End weren't the same 12 guys that started it. Now, was that a cure? Absolutely not. No. But what it was the start of something.
Yeah.
So I went on to design a load of walks called the Union Flag Walks, where we formed the Union flag over Britain. So we walked about 13,500 miles in the end.
Brilliant.
We over 500 veterans suffering with PTSD. That took us to about 2017, and we managed to get some money to start the original idea, which is to build vehicles, not losing the walking side, because we still do that. And then the workshop kind of took over. Like I said previously, it was a revelation for me that this was the real therapy for people as opposed to the expedition. The expeditions are nice bits.
That is amazing. So what I'm hearing there is there is no magic wand.
Nope.
And it's not just a short-term fix sending a veteran mountain biking in Wales for a day. It's long-term projects which create long-term gratification, which create long-term longevity and legacy for them, and helps them over that period of time to go through a series of processes at their own speed and their own pace in a safe environment. Yeah,
what we've found is if you give somebody them events to do, their experiences, that's all they are. They're great experiences. You leave feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
You go home to some, in many ways, into a bed sit with four walls, staring into space again.
Yeah.
What it doesn't give them that longevity.
I'm hearing identity born of self-worth, purpose and legacy, paying it forward for another group of veterans who might get to experience something further down the line and then take this hard work and transform that into something else. And it just keeps going. And
it's all about working collaboratively with the other organisations.
Absolutely.
What I've experienced in the past is many of organisations, they own the veteran, and that's a real problem for me. So guys here that are working here are also involved with other charities as well, and we welcome that.
Sure.
Because they're getting what they need. We're the day-to-day, we're local to them. They can come here whenever they want. But the other exciting, the experiences I spoke about earlier, they can go and get them experiences and still come back here to ground. Well, let's go and have a look around then. Wow. So down here is the vehicle we just started working on, where we've stripped it right down to almost nothing. But we will start with good foundations. You've got something good to work
100%.
from. And that's what we'll start with this vehicle. So it'll be a complete new chassis, new bulkhead, new engine, new gearbox, you know.
What was this?
This was an old County, the same as yours, the same as your Land Rover.
Defender,
this was
yeah.
that.
My father had a business. Him and my uncle were Goldsmith Motor Services for 40 years. They've retired now.
Yeah.
But they bought an old farm, both mechanics their whole lives. And so I would have grown up around the same size as Finley is today, 3 or 4 years of age. My earliest memories are running around a workshop full of vehicles chocked up, things on ramps, toolboxes, the smells, the sounds. This whole environment really takes me back.
Can you see what you're trying to recapture here?
Oh, it's lovely.
And it's the same with the guys we're working with.
It's happiness.
There's a lot of the guys we were working with have been around workshops all their adult career.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden that gets cut off. All these sights and sounds all hit some sort
Old
of
factory
inside.
settings.
Yeah.
So
You know.
powerful.
So let's take you on. Before we get to this stage here, which is the finished stage of the vehicles, I'll take you over here and show you about the next stage after the strip down. Right, so once we get to the stage where we've stripped the vehicle down, we've took the parts that we need, we start the next phase of a build, which is to start with a solid foundation.
Right.
New chassis, new bulkhead, reconditioned engine, reconditioned gearbox, reconditioned transfer box.
Wow.
Prop shafts, heavy duty kind of suspension on it, which gives us that platform to work with. Now this one is going to be a camper, which will be our mobile office in the field. The veterans we work with have got more skills than I've got, like way more skills.
Well, that's what I've learned through what we do. Quite often someone brings something to the party.
Absolutely.
And you say, well, this is the way we could do it, but let's open it up to the floor. And one of them will go, I used to be an RAF aircraft engineer. This is how I would suggest we do it. And of course, you can just see it.
And it's all about listening. It's about the longevity again. If you've got somebody for a week or 2 weeks, you don't get to know the person. So they're not going to come out and say all the skill sets they have. Everybody that drives a Land Rover knows that it's the old elbow out the window to get some relaxation.
At all times.
With a single cab, that's even impossible to do. But this one will be more of a comfortable ride. And then the camper body will be built, so it'll come over the top of the cab, sleeping on top of the cab.
Up in the top.
And which will give us a living area of the length of this vehicle here. So it's going to come out to about here. So it'll give you a fairly sized living area, which will be computers in it, office, that type of thing.
Okay.
So you've seen the first 2 stages, the strip down. This is almost complete, a few bits, steering box just to go in, and then this is complete. And it's had complete work from lots of sponsors, like Ruskin gave us leather seats, and it's got a leather interior in it.
See those, yeah. And
it's absolutely a fantastic vehicle. All our vehicles are painted with Raptor paint because of the toughness of the paint. This has been in 15 different countries, no, 30 different countries I think, and it lasts really well. So the painted bits you just seen a minute ago, like the Raptor paint, this is not complete because we took it dash back out again to paint these bits, which gives us longevity. All our vehicles in the fleet have got a purpose. This is their media vehicle. Not everything we do is about building vehicles, because some people don't want to build vehicles. So I'll show you some of the other stuff we do, yeah?
Ah, this is what we were talking about on the phone. You were telling me about this.
Some people can't go to the workshop straight away. So this is the Lego room where we can get them in a small stepping stone into the workshop, where they can actually build something similar to their fleet using Lego.
I can't believe the level of detail. I've got to have a go at building something. Oh, this is satisfying. But I can't sit here all day. We've got to get this roof rack on.
So we know in the military, eating together is a big part of what we do, isn't it?
Massive.
It's where the conversations start. So this room here is where we have share a meal together, which is cooked in the kitchen there. And the guy who's cooking the meal is a veteran that came to us for help not so long ago, and I tasked him with creating expedition meals that we could cook in the field. Right. And he cooks it and we try it, and then we all sit around the table and have a meal together.
That is lovely.
Yeah.
That is so heartwarming to hear and see all of this. I'm hugely impressed.
Cheers, mate.
Mate, this whole place is absolutely incredible. One little thing I can possibly give you, which is earned and not given, is the HVB patch.
Have I earned it though?
You have absolutely earned it.
I've just got the place just for this, mate.
Absolutely incredible.
There we go. Right, the place. Just up there.
Thank you very much. Wow. And now for the best bit, the unboxing. I haven't actually even seen this yet. I've ordered a low profile roof rack because we have a slight issue back at the HVB HQ, which is that the lovely one we've got is yet to manage to get into the garage. It only just fits and the garage is on a slight angle of the dangle, and I'm not about to rip the top off my own garage roof. So, a lower profile one, wow, should do the trick. High quality finish, powder coated, and going to be a hell of a lot lighter than the existing one as well. But first of all, let's get the old one off.
Lovely, lovely.
There you have it. I've been given the glory of extracting the final bolt. What happens next is beyond me. Making light work of that.
Hey, let's clean the gutters at first before we start. Nick, what have you been doing to this guttering?
So even now, even the relatively small task of moving it over, you can see the teamwork taking place.
But on the other side, somebody on this as well.
So the last little sort of final finicky bits before we go ahead and start to tighten this thing down is to put little rubber boots on underneath so that they don't make metal on metal contact as this thing sits in position. That's looking pretty good.
Wash it down as well.
Totally different to the other one and so much lower in terms of its profile. I am super excited that this has taken place. This is going to be a big game changer for us because I was really worried every time I loaded the old one up that it was going to end up shedding its load or coming off. So much so I just couldn't afford to put anything on the roof rack anymore. So to have this done now has massively changed things for me and Hidden Valley Bushcraft and the work of the Woodland Warrior programme. You can really see the team ethos as everybody comes together to do their respective parts to make this thing come to life, and I can't stop looking at it because it is such a visual change, but it's incredible. What Billy's created here is something special.
As you can see, like, they all want to be part of it. They all want to get hands on and do things as a team, and that's really what we're trying to build all the time. It's something they're very used to in the military, this team ethos.
Yeah, totally.
And sometimes when we leave, you kind of lose that a bit.
Mission accomplished. As you can see, the new roof rack is on, and in fact the final touches are being placed as it sees its very first tasking in taking the old roof rack back to the True Valley. So some of the team are just putting on some ratchet straps now and will be heading off pretty shortly. Not only do these guys support veterans up and down the country in a number of different ways, but they also take them on awesome outdoor expeditions in the vehicles that they've created right here at the Alive Centre. Check out their YouTube channel, which is Veterans Expeditions Overland, to see more of what they get up to.